Man, let me start with this. That viral video of the white woman on the playground calling a 5-year-old autistic black child the N-word, that was disgusting on every level. A grown woman using a racial slur against a literal baby. And then, instead of consequences, she gets money thrown at her. Almost $500,000 from supporters who basically said, yeah, we like this kind of hate. That right there? That's not just messed up. That's a mirror reflecting how deep racism still runs. And don't get it twisted. Anyone who sees something like that and decides she's the victim, she's the one worth supporting, they ain't just racist, they're proud of it. Now with that said, here's where I'ma take a left turn some folks might not like, but it's something we gotta talk about. Let's talk about that word. Yeah, the N-word. Now listen, I ain't gonna act like it's not ugly. I know the history, I know how it was used, and still is, to dehumanize, to belittle, to provoke. But at the same time, I gotta ask, why are we still letting it have that much power over us? Sometimes I feel like we've made it too powerful. Like somebody says it, and suddenly it's go time. Throw hands, lose your cool, risk everything. But what are we really reacting to? Because when you break it down, that word, at its core, literally just means black. Niger, Latin for black. Nigeria comes from the Niger River. Negro, black in Spanish. Even the Bible, Acts 13:1, says Simeon called Niger, one of the teachers in Antioch. He was likely a black man, and they just called him what he was. So yeah, the word was twisted over time, used by colonizers, slave owners, racists, no question. But at its root it was never anything more than a description, and yet somehow we've allowed it to become this all-powerful insult. Like if somebody says it, everything stops. And here's the real truth. Black folks shouldn't allow ourselves to be so triggered by a so-called insult that means nothing, especially when it's being hurled as a weapon by someone who means even less. Let that sink in. You gonna let somebody who's already beneath you pull you down to their level? Nah, not worth it. Not anymore. I'm not saying let people talk reckless. Check them if you need to. But don't let it shake your whole spirit. You are not the word they're using. And if all they can do is scream black like that's supposed to hurt, then they've already lost. Next time somebody tries that mess, so, what's your point? And? Yup. And proud. Because if that word just means black, and I'm black, then I'm exactly what they said. So what? Meanwhile, they're out here proud to be racist, and somehow we're supposed to be ashamed to be black. Never that. Words matter, sure, but they only cut deep if we let them. And I'm done letting dusty people with dusty vocab get me all out of pocket. The real strength is staying calm, unbothered, and keeping it moving. Let them choke on their hate. We got too much power, too much pride, and too much future to be fighting over a word that only means something if we say it does.